Good afternoon, everybody. Well, as you can see, there was a change since I am working starting 2 weeks ago, and my colleagues wanted to make a haircut on me. And well, at first I was reticent. I just didn't want to change, but then I said, well, what the hell? New life, new work, new job, new year, and well, I said okay. So here I am. After 4 years of wearing beard and long hair, here I am. I'm still homeless, but now I have a money entrance, so some things will change soon, really soon. Well, I wanted to talk today about another theory um, born in my brain, but not by myself, uh, but born by something inside my brain. That this thing inside my brain called himself Apocalyptus Dandia, which is different of my pseudonym Andio Dandia. Well, the name of this theory is the Apocalyptic Zodiac Theory, a psychosocial theory of history. What does that mean? Well, psychosocial means that the humanity as a group, using what Jung called the collective unconscient, uses things in order to synchronize um, large groups of people in the pursuit of progress, and especially about the frequency of this renovation that we call wars. So, in order to synchronize um, when things will start changing, this this collective inconscient spirit um, that most of the people calls God or some other name uses prophecies. So this spirit, this divine spirit, um, introduces a prophecy by the mouth of a prophet, naturally, and hundreds of thousands of years later, that prophecy get, gets fulfilled, and everybody says, "Oh wow, the prophecy was fulfilled." The reason why prophecies are fulfilled, in my humble opinion, is because we need to synchronize our things, our progresses as a species. In this case, this theory works over two very important prophecies. The first is the apocalypse. Um, this prophecy is about the second coming of Christ that will bring the ultimate war that will bring after 1,000 years of peace. And then a system of prophecies, which is astrology, especially the zodiac signs, and something that is called the precession of the equinoxes. Getting these two things together, I developed the apocalyptic zodiac theory, which is an upgrade and an upgrade of a theory that I mentioned some days ago. Well, without further ado, I will talk about the three ages before now and the three ages in the future. Of course, there are infinite ages before and after, but I will talk only about the three ages that have passed and the three ages that will pass. Um, the first age that I want to talk is the age of tribes under the sign of Taurus, starting on September 4295 BC. At that time, the size of the world was isolated dots of land in which small tribes inhabit, mostly isolated from one from the other. Um, so the planet was full of tribes, isolated one from the others, and that's the reason why in this age there were virtually no wars because people lived isolated, so it was really complicated to move from one place to the other to have a war. And also because for these small tribes the planet Earth was big enough for everybody. Then it came the Age of Kingdoms under the sign of Aries, starting on May 2147, where the size of the world was the entire fertile land. Um, this period was characterized by the generalization of agriculture because in spite of agriculture having born 12,000 years ago, it wasn't a quick dispersion of agriculture. Most of the people were nomad, um, pursuing cattle, you know. So by the start of the Age of Kingdoms, the entire fertile land was the new size of the world. So now there were no isolated tribes with no physical boundaries between one and the other, but in this case there were more population because agriculture was completely generalized all over the world. So the concept of frontiers that had to be protected started. That's why the Age of Kingdoms, because these were no simple and small tribes, but what they start calling tribes, and instead of a chief of the tribe, it arises the title of king, right? And in this time there were some wars, but since the population wasn't that large, there weren't so many wars in this age. By the time Jesus Christ was born, it started the Age of Empires under the sign of Pieces, starting on January, the first year of the Christian era. Obviously, there were empires before, but they weren't big empires. In this time, it arises the Roman Empire, the Chinese Empire, etc. The size of the world now is the entire planet Earth. So the empires not only were interested on the fertile land, they were interested on all the land in between fertile dots of land. That's why there were many wars, because in this expansion empires endured many wars. But fortunately, this Age of Empires full of wars is coming to an end, and in about 100 years this Age of Empires will finish finally, and it will start the Age of Planets under the sign of Aquarius. Many knows what the Age of Aquarius means. This will start on September 2148, and the size of the world will be what I called the planetarian solar system. This means the 8 planets, the asteroid belts, and the Kuiper belt, but not that further ago. And in this will be an age of abundance, because we are going to be very busy exploring, conquering, colonizing, and mining the solar system. So there will be virtually no wars, because there will be space and wealth for everybody. And here is where the apocalypse prophecy comes and enters into this bigger picture, because the conquest, colonizing, and mining of the solar system, of the planetary solar system, will bring the famous 1000 years of peace of the apocalypse after the coming of Christ, that the second coming of Christ, that in my opinion will happen next century. Well, then it will come the age of what I called the age of art worlds, meaning artificial worlds, under the sign of Capricorn, starting on May 4296. In this case, the size of the world will be the entire solar system, including the Oort cloud. And even though the size of this world will be bigger, the wealth will be less, because most of the wealth will be already mined. So there will be some wars, but not that much, because we will be really dispersed at this time. And then it will come the age of peristars, which means closest stars, under the sign of Sagittarius, starting on January 6444, where the size of the world will be, besides the solar system, the entire solar system, the closest solar systems. In this case, there will be many wars, because several groups will fight to have control over our closest stellar systems. And well, everybody knows that this will be the progression of the future of humanity, but nobody was talking about how much time this will take. Most of the people think that it will take little time, and in 300, 400, 500 years we will be reaching the closest stars. Well, I think making a realistic analysis of our technology, and with the help of the synchronization of prophecies, I think this will be the schedule for humanity progress for the foreseeable future. Well, this was the video of today. See you next week. Bye bye.